Hello everyone. So this is our second meeting between you and me to explain to cover the section Epi Info and another software for you to handle data in your future works. So I introduced the product uh, during my last video. If I have to explain you further, I'll remind whatever we did during the last session quickly to continue the sections for the day. Right. So regarding Epi Info, we said that this is a free product, mainly targeting into our health professionals, and you can download it for freely. Again, I taught you how to download and install that program. Hope that you have already make that downloading and your company is ready with that. Right. And regarding the software, we said that this is having features to create data entry forms, even to enter data, as well as to analyze them, and many features are there. So this is an all-in-one package to handle large volume of data targeting onto our field of medicine. Then this is not exactly similar to the professional softwares, just like MySQL, even MS Access, Start, or likewise, but supporting the works targeting into the field of medicine. And again, we said that it's very user friendly to do the works. So therefore, for the non-ICT professionals, this is a solution. And this has a long history, and many people are using it from around the world. Um, Also, we said about the details behind handling of data. Right. So regarding data, I said you about the two keywords, data as well as information. And there we said that data are raw facts, raw, which were not prepared, and information are whenever the above data are prepared, the results are called as information. And I took some examples. So then these values, total marks, average, going to be treated as information since they were created from the marks we have obtained for each and every student. So they are data as well as these are going to be information. Another incident, I said you that the definition of data as well as information may depend on the situation where we use. So then at this moment, the number of items sold, you can remember this. So when you go to the shop, as the visitor, I am asking the shopkeeper how many items are sold. Then the shopkeeper says that 20. So in my side, this is going to be data, but if it is the seller's point of view, it is going to be information. And we said that if the information is going to be good, they should be relevant, even accurate, understandable, available, as well as up to date or timely. So these are some other features we expect in good information. Right. Also, we said about information systems. They are complete systems in order to handle, manage, work with information. So maybe manual. So if it is manual completely with humans as well as paper-based works, taking time, many more wasting. But if it is going to be computer-based, the things will be neat, even faster, can share the information a lot. Likewise, there are many. So we went through these keywords as well: multitasking, speed, error rate, when comparing manual systems as well as computer-based systems. And according to the comparisons, we concluded that computer-based information systems are the best to handle information as well as data. So then, this is what we said. Right. Then, in order to handle data or prepare data analysis, we go for basic softwares like Excel, SAS, OpenStat, R, Minitab, and even Epi Info is there, though it's not a professional data analysis software product. Right. Now we'll continue from here onwards. I think this is a place where we stop. And regarding the data handling, so in our Epi Info product, so this is our software to work with, and this has features to create forms. So regarding forms, I'll show you a certain form I have made already. This is one such form. You understand that this is not regarding the field of medicine. We are just creating a form to get student details, asking their personal details, the name, even the telephone number, even the date of birth. So these are to collect their personal details and their preferences. So I created a form. Nice story is when you create a form like this, the user will enter data into this. So students, as an example, if this is a school, there will be around hundreds, thousands of student data to be entered. So then they are going to be entered into a database. So then if I am to draw a small arrangement, so then this is the form. We create the form. Here we have the form. And whenever we enter data into this, once you run the form, we enter data, the real student data. They must be stored in another location. The form is just a place. Now here form is just a place to type your data. Whenever you type data, definitely they must be stored somewhere. The locations to store them is the place called as the database. So then there should be a database linked with the form. So these two are linked, connected. So form will get data and they are stored in the database. So when storing data within the database, there should be tables. So we understand that if we are to have lots of data, we can store them on tables. Now in my form, we have to get the name of the student. So here his name, and next one is telephone, right? So then likewise we are going to collect data. Then this is the first student data, second student, third student, fourth student, likewise. So whenever you keep on inserting data, so this is how the data are going to be kept or data are going to be stored. I think you got a certain idea, right? So if I'm to mention that further, now you have to get the understanding. What is this database? What is this form? And how we are going to work with, right? So if I'm to draw this quite clear, so then assume that this is a table, okay? And in it we have rows, table. You understand the tables? They are simple things, right? Okay. And then we'll have the columns prepared. So, okay. And then into this data we have to have the name of the student. Hurry. And further we need to have the telephone number, right? And then the telephone. After that we need to have the date of birth. If we have space we can go for now this is the database, right? I'm just drawing you for your understanding. Okay. Then after date of birth we need to collect the gender. Okay. After that the city where they live. Okay. So then further we have the other details. I may just care about this set of data only. Now through the form, user may enter details of one student. Say that the name of the student. Now through the form we type it, right? The first name, the name is Nimal. Telephone number is this. Date of birth is this. Is a male from Colombo. Whenever we select those data from this form, then from this form we are going to enter them. Hurry, this is a form. We are going to enter them. Once you enter them, they are being added into this table. So we'll say the name as Nimal. Hurry. Then telephone number is going to be note 77 whatever thing. And the date of birth is also entered. So that this is going to be 1999 first of first. Gender will make it as male. City will make it as Candy. Right. So that's the first record. So you type them and they'll be added. Now the form is just a sheet, but this is an electronic sheet. So you select, type them. I'll show how this is going to be done really in Epi Info. Before that, I'm going to give you the idea how this is going to be. So then that's the first record. Through the form, we type them. Not only that, we need to type, we need to enter data of the second student name. So then now I am typing the second data. That's about, say that it's about Manel, a certain girl. Then telephone number is not 71. Date of birth is going to be 1998. Second or whatever thing. Right. Then gender is going to be female, from goal or wherever. Right. Now do you understand that? This is what I want to explain. So whenever we go for the uh, forms is just an electronic sheet. Through that we people type data. Whenever the data typed, they will be going into the database. So then this database is going to be a table that's going to be having tables. There are tables, right? So whenever the tables are there, the benefit is the tables will have uh, the ability to insert lots of data into this. If we have entered details about 1,000 people, so no problem, this is creating many more 1,000 rows and keeping those data. So then this is the idea what I want to explain in my earlier presentation. So whenever we go for our Epi Info product, the one we are going to select, this is going to be supported by a database. Why? Database is required to where's my paint? Here. Database is required to store data. Data are stored within the database. Form is just creating an interface. Form is creating just an frame for you to type data. I think now you are clear. So then this is what the continuation of my presentation. So then regarding our product Epi Info, so then it supports you to create forms. Even we create a form, data are handled or stored in a database in it. Right. So once you go for the database, there's a separate section, separate field in ICT handling databases. Database has many tables. Now you know the details behind tables. We have tables. Not only one, multiple tables are there. So in my early explanation, I just had the student table only. Okay. At the same time, if we have teacher details, we have to have another table to create to hold data about teachers. So likewise, within the database, there are many more tables included. So this is just a representation like that. So database has many tables. One table is store, the shop, stores, and even product, whatever the products they sell, and sales fact, sales details are recorded here. So then such a database is there when it comes to the Epi Info product. But here we have the form, and this is connected to the database what we are talking about. Now you got the idea. And this database is provided by MS Access by default. So no need to worry about that. So then simply MS Access is used by the Epi Info product to keep your data. In the new version, you can change that into SQL Server or any other things. No need. So tables will hold data for the databases. The database created using MS Access when creating a new Epi Info product. You understand that? Whenever you create an Epi Info product, so we create an Epi Info product, we create a new file, then automatically a database is also created to handle data. So that is from my MS Access. So then whenever you create an Epi Info project, database will be created. So one example, if I am to show you somewhere here. So this is the place where I created that form. I showed you a form where I did in Epi Info this one. So when I create that project, the name of the project is student. School is the project, right? So when I create that school project, this is a project Epi Info file. This is a database. So there's a database file created, MS Access file, automatically handle data corresponding to the Epi Info product. You understand it? Right. Now, we'll just talk about the Epi Info product. That's a technical arrangement. Whenever we go for this Epi Info, we have few options in it. I said you that this is an all-in-one option. So one feature here is to create forms. This is a major work we are going to do in our session. How to create forms, right? And after creating the form, just like this, we create the form. You should learn how to do this. This exam question, I'm checking you. And after that, we should be able to enter data. For this form, we have to enter data. Then they'll be stored into the created database like this. So when entering data, it has to use the next product within Epi Info called as enter data. Also, there are advanced features in Epi Info to deal with maps, geographical maps. So then we have to insert map data, GIS, many details are there. In our level, we don't consider that. Also, we have complex statistical calculations can be done. Even some data analysis part can be done, the general mathematical data analysis. Even some other facilities are there. So regarding our work, we are going to consider more on these two features in Epi Info, how to create forms and how to enter data. So whatever you do, there'll be a database connected to this automatically. Hope that you are clear. Okay. Now, these are description programs available in Epi Info. Whenever we go for the Epi Info product, there are many more programs available. This is one program, another one, another one, another one likewise. So one is create forms. The one I showed you earlier, create forms, this one. Designs questionnaires. So you can create a questionnaire. Form is a questionnaire like thing. In this case, we are giving questionnaire, your name, your telephone number. So then the participant will add those data. So suppose to create questionnaire, once a question is designed, the database is automatically created. So that's a essential part. Then next feature in Epi Info is enter data. This one. So then that is used to enter data into the questionnaire. Even searching data. So we are supposed to enter data. Even we can search them within it. So this is just to handle the data after creating the forms. Then classic analysis. This one. Classic analysis. That means you can analyze your data according to the mathematical formulas we need. Right. Run statistics analysis, list tables, graphs, charts. So those can be handled. Those can be prepared using the classic analysis product. Then maps, as I said earlier, here we have maps. This one. So then whenever we go for maps, uh, it's create GIS map and overlay survey on data. Then create maps from map server or shape files. So then that's quite advanced in our level. So we have to feed map data, and with the map data they will support you this mapping concepts. So we'll just leave it. Statcal epidemic calculations for statistical or summarized data. So some statistical analysis can be done. That's quite different than this classic analysis. Some huge epidemic calculations can be done easily. So this is mainly focusing on the field of medicine, epidemiology. So then according to your section, there are calculations provided. Right. Now we'll see how to work with this Epi Info product. So first we are going to go for the create forms, this one. And using that, we should learn. Well, we have to do this well, right? This is a final question I'm asking in the exam. You should know well. So then whenever you are going to work with this, how we create forms, what are the facilities, what are the objects in it. That's a concept. So we learn it. Right. So in my presentation, I'm giving you a certain window whenever you are going to create a Epi Info. When you open the Epi Info create form file, this is what the appearance is. I'll just show you how this is going to be. Right. First of all, I'm going to open my Epi Info product, this one. So I have created a shortcut for the Epi Info product. You can see my desktop. Then I may open that, right? This is it, right? So then in it, you can see that in the background I have my presentation. This is the software. If that is distracting you, what can I do? Right, now it's clear. This is software when I open it. Then I'm going to click on create maps. Very simple, just a single click. Now it creates. Then the window comes like this. So here we have the left hand section, here we have the right hand section, also a set of menus are there. So then this is what explained here. When you go to the presentation, whenever you create form sub program, there are three sections. So first section is, this is the menu bar, menu toolbar, menus, file, edit, format, those are there. And this is going to be project explorer. That means regarding the project you create, Epi Info project, you can explore the pages, the forms and everything in it. This is where the forms and pages of the projects are shown. So we are going to create a single project in Epi Info. Those project details are accessible or available on the left hand section. Right hand section is called as the canvas. So this is the place where you create your form, adding many more objects just like text boxes, even drop downs, radio buttons, check boxes. So this is a canvas where you create your form in it. So with the project open, you can right click inside this this way we work it. I'll teach you. So project explorer is giving you the guidance to access the areas of your project, and this is a toolbar how we are going to deal with. Right. Then I will see how to create the blank form. Right. I'll do that in my work. Then you can follow this. So I think you can practice this. The thing is very simple. Download it. Hope that you have installed this, and then the things are going on. Right. So in my project, I have just opened it. I'll again open it for the clarity. Right. So I'm coming from the beginning now. Create forms. Then the create form product is opening. This is the project explorer. This is a canvas. Now I want to create a new project. So I have not created one. Then I click on new project here, or else from file you can go to new project. Whenever you go for new project, there are a few options. We'll go through them later. For the moment, I am going for a brand new project. So I'm clicking on this new project. Even you can select that from file, or else here we have the shortcut accessing. I'll click on that. Whenever I click on that, it asks these details for us to fill. Name of the project. So I'll do the same thing I showed you earlier, then that's quite easy. I want to create a project related to my school to store data about the students, teachers, subjects we do likewise. Okay, then the name of the project is going to be school. I can give the name. I can say school PRJ or project. You can give any name as you wish, but that should be quite sensible and meaningful. Fine. Then a location. Where will you store your project? So we can browse it. Now this is very important, right? Whenever you are doing this practically in the computer, you don't select the location. But whenever you do the exam, the practical exam, we are informing you save all your works in a folder. Then if you save somewhere, that won't be counted for your marking. So remember, I'm repeating that again and again. Save your project in the instructed place at the paper. So all your works, if you do Word, Excel, PowerPoint in the exam, they will inform you. In the paper, they have told that save all your works in the wet folder. Then show that folder from browsing. So in mine, I'm going to show this, save this somewhere here. Projects. We'll go to this reasoning. So I'll work on this one, right? And under that, I'll create a new. No, yes. Okay, I'll use this folder. 620 Epi Info. Okay, fine. Then I showed you I showed the system. This is the place where I need to save this project. Also, you can have a small description. These are some optional things. Then if you wish, you can type them. This manages details about the school, right? So this is optional. This is for our reference later, right? Then a data repository. This is talking about the database. I said you that whenever we create an Epi Info product, there should be a database to be created. So this is that database. So by default, it goes so MS Access. If you wish, you can go for SQL Server. That's for advanced data handling. So we'll just keep it this without doing any change. And the form. So form is something what we create earlier. This one. So in the school project, I may create one form for student, another form for teacher details, another form for subject details likewise. So for the moment, I may create a form for teachers. Okay, teacher details. I'll just say that teacher, right? Then under the school, I'm going to create a form for teachers. Then teacher details can be entered through that particular form, right? So then now I have added all these details, the name of the project, the whole project. After that, the name of the form as well as the place to store them. So the location, this is very important. Invalid project name. All right, project name cannot contain spaces or non-alphanumeric characters. So project names can't have these funny characters or underscore, minus likewise. I'll just give the name as school project. Can't keep spaces. Okay, then my name is school project. Okay, then I'll create it. Fine. Okay, you can't keep spaces even. All right. So then that should be a single word for the project. Even form is set as teacher. So in the form, I'm going to create teacher details now. No, shall we create a form for the student? Then I can show you and do this well, since I don't have a board even. Right. Now, that means I'm going to create the exact form like I did here, right? And that's easy. Right. Don't get confused. This is a certain already prepared form. So I'm going to show how this is going to be done. Right. Then the form is student. Say okay. It takes time to create the form, is it? Right. Yes. Now they made it, the project. Right. So then if you look at the top title bar, it says that under this folder, you can have an idea, right? G ICT works. This is folder. This is a project, school project, and I'm going to create a form called as student, and we are in page 1. Also, you can check that from here, school project, from this project explorer, school project, the student form, and this is the first page. So you'll work with one page only. So this is what. Right. Now, when I'm going to create my form, I better have a title here, the topic, right? And these are the fields. Then these are the details to be. These are the objects to be added into the form. When I go for my form, I have added some details. These are text box. These are radio buttons. These are check boxes. So those objects are available in this left-hand pane. So then what you have to do is just drag and drop them or just double click on them and get them into the canvas. Very simple. But you should know what those objects and where they are used. So mainly to have a topic like I did here. So topic is just a label. We don't want to take data out of this. This is just a label. So then in Epi Info, we have the ability to add labels or titles. Right? So very simple. I just click on it or double click on it. Sorry, I just drag and drop it. That's one way where we can do this. Just click here. I want a label to be available in my form. Just drag and drop. Or else you can right click on the canvas. Right click somewhere here and then select new field. I want to have new field. So field in the sense any object to be created here. So in my form, I have many fields. This is one field, another field, another. There are fields. To add fields, you can right click on the canvas, new field, and select which field you need. Fine. I need a label. You can get it by right clicking on the canvas or else drag and drop the corresponding field into the canvas. Fine. Drag and drop. Then it says that label title. So what to appear? This is a question. That means what should be the title or the topic. So I may select this as uh, data entry form for student details. I just type it. Data entry form for student details. That's what the topic I need. Then you have to enter a certain field name there, a certain short name. I can say that topic 1, the main topic. That is a name not to display. So if I'm to tell you that this is the one to display, this is just the identification of that field, identification of that title. Title to be identified, we use the name. This is what it displays. Now, if you want, you can just add it. Then the text will appear in default text. I'll just show you like this. But since it is a topic, it's better if we can do that in quite big text, even some attractive font like thing. I can change the font color even. So you can do those modifications at this place. Then how can I modify this again? Don't worry. Right click on this and go to properties. So then I want to modify this after adding this. That's not the final version. I want to modify this. Even I can move it here and there, no problem, along with the canvas. If I want to modify this, right click on this and go to properties. Now I'll be back into the previous dialog box. There to modify the font, I'm going to font. Now we have the facilities to define your font type along with the, say that this one, I can bold it. Then if I wish, I can set the font size into any size as I wish. I can add some effects as well. Underline, strike through. You see that under the previewing area, we can see them, right? Strike through means cutting off. No, just underlying is better. Then I'm going to say OK. Right? Now my font came in that order. If I feel that the text box is not long enough, I can just extract or increase the width of this. Then it will be on one line. So I can do those adjustments. They are very simple, basic works. So I did my topic. Right. Now into the form, now I want to take the name of the child. So normally when taking the name, when I'm going for the form, whenever we ask the name of the person to enter, we can have a text box in front of it. So this is called as a text box. Why we call this as text box? So then user can type their text into this. If the name is Amal, he type it as Amal inside the box. Other thing is the values to be available. Now this is entering date and this is student form, right? Hurry. Whenever we go for the student form, if we insert a name of the child, I'm talking about the form name. Simply we can say that enter name. Whenever the name is entered, can the designers, now you and me are the designers now, form designer, can we predict or can we predefine, that's the correct word, can we predefine the names to be available? Can, when I'm designing the table, can I say that names of the students should be Amal, Bimal, Kamal? Can we predefine and make them available already into this field? No, it differs. So that's why we are going to give a certain blank text box here. Blank text box. So then we can't define anything in it. So whenever the user enters his name, he has the freedom to type anything. So this is called as a text box. You understand that? So in that order, we have to have a text box to be created to get the name. So then here we have the controller or the fields. So text. So when I select this field into my Epi Info form, I'm facilitating, I'm being informed, I'm giving the facility to create the text box. Drag and drop. Now it asks the questions here. Question is enter your name. That's what it says, question. I may type it as what to display. Enter your full name, I say that. Enter your name. Enter, no need to have your. Enter or else name with initial simply, right? Name with initials. Then this is asking the name of the box. This is the question to display like we have. I missed that S name or STD name. Right. There is to represent student name. Maximum number of characters. So here you are allowed to limit the number of characters to be entered here. So we can just predict that student names can be with around 30 characters. Otherwise, people will be entering data unnecessarily if there's a mistake. Sometimes, if you just keep your keyboard a certain character, just like this, by mistakenly you just keep your finger on the letter M, then keeps on entering M, right? That's a mistake. So then, in that order, we are limiting, giving the limit how many characters can be maximum accepted. So then I may say that this is going to be 20 somewhere. Yes, 20. Then it says some other details. Now I said I want a text box. This is a name. This is what the question is. Then we can make it as read only. Repeat last. Encrypt. Required. So I may explain these two only. Required means whether this field is essential to be filled. That means, can we skip this typing? Normally, you feel that now there can be some fields whenever you fill forms, you are skipping some fields, some data not there. As an example, they will ask, say that for the student form, right? They will ask the day where you admit to the hospital. So that in your history, if you can't remember the day where you admitted to the hospital, you just leave this name. Then it's okay. But likewise, can we leave the name field without typing, oh, is this essential into the form? Compulsory student details now, we need to have the name of the student definitely. Otherwise, how can you recognize a child? So therefore, we have to select this option required. That means you can't leave the student when entering data. Student can't leave this blank. This required, right? And also we can have the font, prompt font. Prompt is this name, the thing to display. You can change the font here, like we had earlier. You can select a certain font. Even you can change the font size. Underline, strike through. You can do this. Even field font, so that field is not required. Field is invisible here. I just say okay. Now it comes like this. So the prompt is there as well as text box is there. If you wish, you can just move these objects. If you want the text box to be appear in front of the text, you can just move it. Or else you can just keep that. Now these two are bonded options, but you are free to move it below this, or you are free to keep it in front of this. It's up to your choice where to place your details. Right. Then they are very simple works. Hope that you can manage this. Right. I got my names. Then I want the address to be taken of the student. How can I? If I am take the address, definitely another text box has to be there. Ne? I'll quickly do this now. Drag and drop it. Then I can say that home address. Right. Then field name, I'll just make it as address only. Then for the address, I need around 30 characters. I just leave this without making it as required, right? So then even if you type the address or not, no matter for me, right? Then I don't do this formatting. If you wish, you can do this and continue your work. So by now, I don't force you. Now you know how to handle that. Right. I go the home address, somewhere like this, and these dots are there in the canvas. That is to support your alignment. Then by considering these dots, you can keep your alignment properly. Right. I got my home address. Also, I want the telephone number of the child. Then when I'm getting the telephone number, you can get a text box. But even here we have another one called as phone number, another field. So with that, I can insert the phone number directly. I'll just select this and drop it. Then question is going to be telephone. Right. Then field name, I'll make this as telephone only or tel. Better to make the field name as quite shorter. If I wish, I can have required. Now in this case, you can define a pattern here. So under the pattern, you can limit the number of characters. Normally in our telephone numbers, we have 10 fields, right? Then this is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Then or else you can leave that in the block wise. So here this is the node 77, the country code, city code likewise. So I'll select this sort of an arrangement. Then telephone number will be displaying in blocks. Then this is 4, 3, 7, and this is going to be 10. Then we'll see how they are appearing. I just select this pattern, or else you can just select numeric. Then it will be just in an order without having spaces or without having separations. Normally, whenever we go for the telephone number, we type it like having space note 773. Then we leave a space for the recognition 8989, something like that. So in this order, likewise. Right, so then we just leave them for the recognition easily. If you select number, no spaces, continuously having that. I think you are clear. Right, so then I just define the pattern like this, and if I wish, I can make it as required. No need. Right, I set it. Then I can keep the telephone number somewhere here, and this box. First I have to arrange the label. Okay. Then this part. Okay, right. Telephone number, right. Then after that, I want to get the gender of the student. What is that gender thing? Normally, gender comes even now. Normally, whenever we ask the gender of the student, right? There we need to enter two genders. So then, if I create a text box in front of it, the person has to type if it is a male, male, or else female. But other than these two, we don't have any other value here. Therefore, we can create this as radio buttons without making as text boxes. Text boxes is okay. But the benefit here is, here we have only two values. The designer can predefine. Now designer can predefine, right? The designer can predefine the values. They should be either male or female. Now nowadays we have another gender as well. No, that's accepted. Telling that other, I will say that there are three values only. Okay. You have seen that. So then only those three values are there. We can't have the gender as apple. We can't have the gender as Nimal. No, only these three values are there. So in a situation like that, to make the data entry easy, we'll create radio buttons, circle buttons, telling that this is going to be male, this is going to be female, this is going to be other. Then user need to tick on this. Whenever the user clicks on it, it automatically selects this as male. So these are called as radio buttons in our forms. Right? So then radio buttons are allowing how many selections to be done at a time. Can the user be able to select both male and female? While he selected, can we select the female as well? No. So then only one selection at a time. Right? So then user is allowed to select only one selection. Then whenever you select this, and if you click on this, now this is selected already. If you click on this one, the earlier selection will be automatically removed. So only one selection is there. So such a place is called as a radio button. Here, select your gender. These are the options. So male, female, you can select only 3 options. But if I click on other, the rest won't be selected. The other one will be deselected automatically. Right. So to do so, I may create radio buttons. Where do we have it? Here, option. So the in Epi Info, this is given as options. Right. I'll drag and drop here. Right. Now it asks the question. I may select your gender. Right. Field name, I'll just make this as gen. Now it says how to arrange your works. So list the options vertically or horizontally. Options, how will they be available? Vertically or horizontally. Start listing options on the left or right. Right. Then attributes, show the label on the left hand side or right hand side. So I need 3 choices. Right? These are 3 choices. If you select this as right, the buttons will be on the right hand side, the label will be on the left hand side, like this. So you can have the first option, I may say is as male. Next one I'm going to go for female. The other option is going to be other. Right? So these are the details. You can arrange your list of options vertically or whatever thing, you can do this. Now it's vertical or horizontal. That's not previewing options. Okay. Vertical means in the vertical side. Vertical side means what? Options are available in this side. That's my brush. This side. That's vertical. Horizontal options are available. The first male is here, female is here, likewise. But they are very simple arrangements. You can just do that easily. Right. I'll just say this as okay, and even you can change the font. Say okay. Now they will be created like this. Alright. So if you wish, you can enlarge this box, and you can place this just like this. You can arrange your arrangement into the way you need. So this is how you select the. This is how you add radio buttons into your Epi Info product. This is a form we are going to create. So just remember that what are the places where you use radio buttons? What are the places where you use text boxes? Right. Then further, if I want to get data, sometimes I may get the date of birth. To get the date of birth, we have another separate field called as date. Date of birth will be a date value. Very simple. You just drag and drop. Now I think you are familiar with the environment. So just get that. Then I may say that enter date of birth. Hooray. Field name I may make it as shortly DOB. Fine. Now whenever we enter a date of birth value or date value, we can define a range to be accepted. Sometimes we can give the lower to the upper level. If I accept the dates from date of birth, so really the date of birth should be quite old. Now, if it is a student in the school, to get into the school, they should be 5 years, as well as they are leaving school around 19 years old. Hurry. Then to be in 5 years, so that now if a child is in the grade 1, he should be at least 5 years. Then what is their date of birth? So this year is, will say that 2022. Then to be 5 years, they should be born what? 2017, I hope, right? Yes. They should be born 2017 or earlier to that. If they were born on 2016, the previous year, they are in grade 2 now. 2015, grade 3 now. Like us, it's going reverse. and the person who is in grade 13 should be 19 years old. We'll say that if they are to be 19 years old, what is the date of birth? 2022. 19 means this is 2. How to subtract this? 2022, this is going to be 3, ne? Okay, and this is going to be 1 0. So they should be born on 2003. Right. Now the date of birth has to be in between 2003 to 2017. So we are the designers now. We assume that, or we compute that arrangement. So the date of birth for the student should be in between 2003 to 2017. If someone is entering a date of birth different than that, that's outside the date range. So that's a incorrect date of birth value. You understand this? So this is facilitating the user to manage the date of birth values accurately. So then we have to select the date of birth lower. The smallest date of birth we found is 2003. Ne? Yes. So I may say the date of birth, this click 2003. They should be born on 2003 January 1st. January 1st. And the last date of birth as I computed should be 2003 2017 January 1st or December 31st. We'll say like that. Then 2017 December 31st. Right. So this is the date range accepted for the date of birth. You can set it. If you didn't set it, they will accept any date. Right. Okay, I'll just say it as okay. Now the date of birth field is created. Again, I can put it like that. I can just arrange these, keeping the label somewhere here. Then I'll move this box into an arrangement like this. Fine. That's the date of birth. So you can't just enter the date of birth as you wish. That is limited to the range given. That's a date value. Then the next thing is I'm asking the user to enter their city where they live. If I ask the city, again, all are Sri Lankans. Now the values to be entered under the city, still can't they be predefined? Can they? Now people from cities means we have Kandy, Colombo, Gol, Kurunegala, Colombo likewise. But if I leave the text box, they are allowed to type anything here. They can type Gol. Sometimes Trincomalee, Jaffna likewise. Since we can predefine the cities, can't I add radio buttons here? Like we did earlier. We just add radio buttons telling that Kandy, Colombo, Kurunegala, Jaffna likewise. If I add radio buttons, won't it need a lots of huge space here? I have to list down all the cities. Then half of the form will be consumed by that. Then to avoid that, what we need here is, we are just creating a thing called as drop down menu here. Right? So then there we can list down the cities in it. Whatever the cities we have, we can list them. Then it won't consume lots of space in the form. Hey, whenever before extracting the list, they need only a small space. If I want to select the city, then only we'll click on it and see what are the cities available. So then this is simply called as, in our vocabulary, we call this as a drop down menu. Sometimes it's also called as combo box. In Epi Info, this is called as legal values. So this is the word in Epi Info. These are the terms to refer into that box. So normally it appears like a normal text box, but it has a small triangle like object created here. This triangle goes in the other way around. Whenever you click on this, the list will appear showing all the available predefined values in it. So this is mainly used to save your space. Save space in the form. Whenever we have lots of values, you must decide them, right? So in my question in the exam, I'll ask you to create forms like this. There you must judge, am I taking radio buttons? Am I taking drop downs to create this object? I hope that you are clear. Right? So then whenever you need to save your space, definitely you need to use a drop down menu or legal values or combo box other than having radio buttons in it. So radio buttons are used whenever you have only few options. Whenever we have few options, this is fine. But if you have lots of options, we have to go for the drop down menu. Right. We'll see how to create the drop down menu in my form. So they are listed under the legal values here. So legal values from the fields, drag and drop. Now the question is, we'll say that select your city. Okay. I'll give the field name as city only. Then if I wish, I can say make it as compulsory required. This is the data source. How you set your values, predefined values. Now in this case, we have to list down Kandy, Kalam, whatever cities has to be listed. So then this is the place to set them, data source. So whenever I'm going to set them, here we have the button to define the values from where they are. Click on it. Then another new dialog box come like this, data source. Here we can create new. I want a new listing, or else you can select existing things. We don't go in that deep. Just will create a new list. I click on that. Now you are allowed to type those values. First I may say Kandy. Then the next value is Colombo. Even Jaffna. Further Goal. Kurunegala. Matara. Then what are some other cities? Gampola. Further some other cities. Vaunia. Likewise, we can just list down the cities we have. Okay. And they can be sorted. By default, they'll be sorted. If I don't want to be sorted, I can select this do not sort. Then they'll appear in the order where we type. If I deselect this, they'll be rearranged into the alphabetical order. So I think alphabetical order is quite better. Then it's easy for the user to find it. I'll just leave do not sort here. That means they are not sorted. Sorry, now they are sorted, right? If I don't want to sort it, I tick on this. I want the sorting, so I'll just leave it. Okay. Now say okay. Then I have defined my values onto the combo box. Select your city. We'll say okay. Right. Now this is the field. Very simple, highly user friendly. Okay. Placing my prompt here, and then bringing the combo box somewhere here. Okay. So if I check it, now you see that these values are sorted, right? Colombo, Gold, Gampala, Jaffna. So then into the alphabet they're being sorted. If I tick that early option, they won't be sorted. They'll be available in the order we have entered. So then this is how we create combo boxes, radio buttons, and also there are some yes no fields. That means it has again just like the options or the selections, you are selecting only yes or no. Only two, no three, no any other, yes or no. Assume that I want to have a field to check whether the student has got through their grade 5 scholarship. Grade 5 scholarship, pass or not. Then the answer is yes or no. I can add that. Then the question is, did you pass grade 5 scholarship? Hare. Field name, I'll just shorten them. Scholarship. Ne? Hare. Then it's a yes no field. Just say okay. I can reduce the size of it. If I tick here, it has yes and no only. Automatically they will be there. But in this, I have to set my legal values. But yes no field is going like that. Right. So then that's how I created my basic fields in my form. Other than that, I may create their studies somehow, some other details. Right. So then yeah, if I mesh this with the other, we have comments. Mm, 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 mm. Yes. So then like this, I'll include this pink color section. So there I have added select your hobbies. Regarding the students, they may be able to perform or have multiple hobbies, right? Not only one. If I open that again, I'll show you how to. Right. I'm opening that earlier form in the form entry, right? Data entry. Right. Now you can tick this here. There can be a student who has more than one preference. Then we can't go for this radio buttons. Radio buttons, you are allowed to select only one. When I tick on this, other one will get deselected. If I have two or more preferences for hobbies, now I need to have some other object, some other field other than radio buttons. So then that is what we are going to create now. Uh, we'll say that so they are going to be called as checkboxes. Right? So then here checkbox is allowed to select more options or more than one options. But city will select only one option in it. Yes, I'll do that here in my work. Checkbox, I made it here. Then asking the checkbox means it creates only one box here, right? This box, this box, this box, and above that I will need to have the label as I wish. First, we'll create one checkbox, right? So then that is asking for singing. I'm doing the same thing, right? Singing, I'll keep it. Okay. Then the radio button is checkbox is created, right? Then another checkbox, dancing. Okay, you can change this placement, right, where the box comes to the left hand or right hand or wherever. And then another checkbox, I may go for playing. Okay, right. Even I'll add one another okay, browsing internet. That's also a hobby of some people now. Right. Likewise, I can place my options. So then user can select more than one here. Now to make it common, I better put a label around this, or else I can group them. That's another nice work you can do. Or else I can put a label. If I'm to go for grouping, group has to be done separately. This one, yes, you can group this. I'll group that later, right? Now I can put a label there. That's good. That's good, right? Then I may select a label here. Select your hobbies. Right. Now this is a placement. So I'm going to keep it somewhere here. Then your hobbies will be included into that one. So more than one option can be selected. Right. Then after that we can have another box called as this multi-line box. So that will allow the user to enter a lengthy text like we did here. Here. So comments about the student. Teachers at the report card, teachers will write the comments. So then that can't be limited to one line. So we need more space. So such a field is called as field multi-line field. Right. So I'll add a multi-line field in this way, mentioning that comments, right? Multi-line field. Right. So question comments about the student. I'll just make this as comments only. Say okay. Then there'll be a controller created. So this has the option or facility to make the text box quite larger. Then you can place that in a better way like this. So then the user can type lots of things in it into this other than the normal text boxes. Right. That's a comment. Even if you need now, I don't want to teach you the rest one after the right. Then the time. So we can have a time controller. Birth time or something like that. No need, right? I just told you birth time. Then we can just set it. Then there'll be a time to be entered. Controller accepting time. So I just leave it. Just taught you how to have this. To erase this controller, how will you? Right click on that controller and say that delete. Then it will be removing. Fine. Right, we got the hobbies. Is that all? And another number field. That's also very important. Sometimes here this one number controller. This is accepting letters, letters numbers, but number means only numbers are there. Then we can say that number of subjects you do. That's going to be entered as a number and not as a text. Name with initials is going to be a letter number mixed, but only numbers has to be there. Then I'm asking a question like how many subjects you do. Number of subjects followed for your OLs. Alright. So we'll leave it like this. And again, there we can set a range whenever we get number. So number of subjects can be from 3 to 12, right? So in between this, you can enter number. Any other number other than this is wrong. So then the benefit here is this will limit your range to avoid errors, to avoid mistakes. I may say okay now. Right. Then I can place it. Fine. Right. Then this is going to be a number in between 3 to 12. So I don't want to have a lengthy text box name. Right. So likewise, we can create our form with the features, with the fields available here. So there are many other fields. So if you wish, you can insert an image here to make your form quite attractive. I'll just put a label image here. Okay. So this may be the logo of the school or something like that. Right. Question or prompt. To load an image. Retain the image size. Okay. No. I'll just say that upload your image or profile picture. Right. And if I say okay, now it creates something like this. Then user is allowed to enter a picture somewhere here. Right. They are not that proper, that required, That's fine. And command button, we can program them: phone number, date and time both, check boxes, yes no field. Another one is grid. This is another important thing. Normally a grid is something like this. So I'll go to the presentation now. Now what I did at the moment, so those things are mentioned in the presentation, right? So then this form design. Okay, so we know the three areas: menu bar, even the project explorer, and the canvas. So in the canvas we are doing everything, right? Then this is how you create the form. So the details are given from the Epi Info main menu. Select create forms, new project, then enter the project name. So project, these are rules, right? So project name cannot contain spaces. That was a doubt. Project name can't spaces. Non alphanumeric characters. That means can't have at sign, exclamation, minus, hash. Those are not. But underscores are permanent. Underscore means the minus sign with the shift. Then it appears somewhere below. He is not, but underscore is accepted. Then enter the form name here. We know that. Use only the letters and numbers. Do not start from a number. Do not use any space. So these are rules for the form name as well. So you need to memorize them. Sometimes I'll test them in the question paper, writing paper. Right? Which of the following is a valid name for the Epi Info project? Epi Info form. You should be able to select it. Then the first project has to be created. Assign the name. Assign the project name, form name. Consider project name as school. It needs separate forms: student, subject, teacher. Different forms can't be there. Then to create the forms, there are two sections. Left side is the explorer. Right hand side is canvas. Then you're going to create a form like that. So then drag the specific field from the left section to the canvas. Then there we have to have variables. So then here in this form, these are going to be as fields. So fields are also called as variables. So variables will hold data that are entered by the user. Right. This variable, those variables will be inserted by the users. So then there are different types of data. Now you understand that. So we have numeric data, just like how many subjects you do. So those numbers can be used for calculations, right? So then that's very important. Whenever we go for numbers, uh, numeric values, they are used for computations, just like marks. That's a numeric value. So marks will be 75, other mark will be 80. Then we are going to add them together, right? And even the age, that also will subtract. My age is around 35. Then deduct by 15, it's going to be 20. Then salary, that's also a number. And so my salary is 35,000 rupees. Okay. Then if I get double the salary, it will be 70,000. So we do those calculations. But for names, we don't do it. My name is Nimal. Then will you multiply Nimal by 2? No. Will you add Nimal and Sunil? We don't do it. So for text, we don't do mathematical operations. But for numeric values, we perform them. Then we have date values. So date values are with three values, three sections: date, month, and year. Definitely those three should be there. Another data type is called as string. This is also called as text. They will hold letters from A to Z. Any combination of A to Z will be inserted. But even some numbers are also there, which are not used for quantities, which are not representing for calculations. So simply, phone number is said to be as a text value, though it has numbers. Why? The phone number has numbers. My telephone number is 077 101010. Is this used for calculations? Will you multiply my telephone number by 2? Will you add this telephone number with some other's telephone number? No. Though they are numbers, not being used to represent quantities, not being used for calculations. So they are going to be considered as text values or string values, though they are completely with numbers. You understand that? Right? So strings are accepting numbers as well as text. So Amal is a text value. It has letters. Even a telephone number is also a text value. Though he is having numbers, they are not being used for computations. Right. Then in the form, we define something called as field. That's a variable. Field represents a title or question for the survey. Right? It's a question or prompt. For example, question, what is the last grade you finished in school? Is treated as a field. The answer for the question is a value which is a numeric value. So we have to select number and add it into the form. Whenever we go for the form, now we need to add that the last grade you finished is going to be a number value. That's that form. This one. No. So that's a number value. So then we have to create this as a number field. Field is going to be number, the last grade, not a text. Right. Creating a text field. So very simple. Drag the field text from the left hand pane to the canvas. Then field definition dialog box will appear. Create the field. You can define the number of characters. Make it read only, required. Likewise. Then also we can set uppercase. Here in our form creation we have this. We can have a text uppercase. So in that only the uppercase characters, capital characters be accepted. Not everything. Only capitals are accepted. Called as uppercase. Then accept only capitals. Multiline. Accept a lengthy text with many number of characters. Also height of the text box can be increased. Multiline here. This multiline. So many more lengthy text can be added into that. Then a number, accept numeric values only, the number pattern can be set. Whenever we select numbers, we can define the number pattern as well. Then phone number, accept phone numbers following the specific format. Okay. Then date field, so we can give the range. I said you that. And even checkboxes. So I said you that user can select more than one selection at a time. Did you hear about, how did you hear about the position in a job vacancy? From newspaper, even sometimes from a website. You have many options to select. So create each checkbox separately. You know this, I taught you, right? And then yes no questions are there. So use when the value is either yes or no only. Can't have any other, only definitely yes or no. Are you married? That's a question, right? You have only yes or no. You can't say I don't know. So only two options are there. You are married, yes or no. You can't say I don't know whether I'm married or not. So only two answers are there. Enter the field name as select type as yes no. So here we have that field name, yes no field name. Yeah, was it here? Then you can edit. Hurry. Then radio buttons. I said you that options here. You can set it. Then select your gender. Then you can select whatever the number of choices you have, and you can place your things properly and set it. Then this is the outcome once you create like that. Then adding drop downs, the legal values. Still I said you that, right? Then you select this prompt. Then from here you may just write down the list how it is going to be, right? And there we have create new. Then list those values and keep your eye on the sorting. So in the exam, I'll clearly test this whether your values are sorted or not. So I inform you, keep them sorted. Sometimes I may say that don't keep them sorted. Then you have to make the correct option as it is. Then creating grids. Yes, this is the next thing. Normally a grid is something like this. I'll use this earlier form. Now you know the basic features, okay? Now this is what the grid is. You can focus my mouse. This is a new thing. In the grid, sometimes we may have, it's just like a sub form. My main form is student details. Then we are asking your siblings, whether you have brothers or sisters. If it is a boys' school, brothers. Then sometimes this person may have more than one brother. then we are adding many more details into this. So normal fields are entering one detail here. Enter your name, then you type it. Then enter the names of your brothers, then we have to enter many more data. You can't. So that we are going to go for grid. So under the grid, you can have many more fields even. Brothers, the name, the gender, name, the grade, and the age of the brother. This is the first brother, second brother of this student, Nimal Kumara. What are the brothers and sisters? So this is called as grid, where you are taking many more details under this data. You understand that? So Nimal has multiple data. They are going to be added. Right. So in this case, I may create another grid here, asking for subjects they do. Right. So then I'll create a grid now here. Here we have the grid. Okay. So I select the grid, drag and drop here. Then the question, I'll ask my question, uh, enter the subject details you do. Hurry. Then field name will say subjects data. Then these are grid. Inside the grid you can add columns, subject details, and we have to have the subject name. We'll see. I'm adding one column header. I can say that subject name, name. Enter the column header name for the grid. Okay, the first column is going to be subject name. Okay, column name. There we have to enter around 5 characters. Column type is text. We'll save this subject name. Right. Next one is periods. How many periods you have? Then column type is going to be numeric, number. Then pattern we'll say that there are around 10 or something. 2 characters are there. Then save that column. Here we click on save column, right? Then there are 2 columns coming. Next field, the teacher who is teaching that. Then that's also going to be text. Then I'll define the number of size, how long it is, just 5. We'll save it. So likewise, the subjects you do, the number of periods, teacher, even I may say that practicals or not, whether it has practicals. Then that is going to be of yes no field, practical yes no, right? Save the column. Okay, then I'm going to say okay. Now I have created enter the subjects you follow, subject details you do. We'll see. This is my grid. I can expand this. Right. Now you see that of this student, how many what are the subjects you do are going to be added here. Right. So if you wish, you can expand, adjust the width of the columns, adjust the width of the grid. How many periods, practical, yes or no, you are going to enter them. So this is what the grid is. Hope that you understand what the grid is. So grid is letting you to enter more data under the main record. If we insert a certain student, he may follow a few subjects. So that is going to be called as the grid. Right. Now I think most of the works to handle the form is completed. We have one more that is to group these values. Now whenever you have your form, we can categorize them into groups like I did earlier in my form, this one. So here I have grouped them to make it quite fair looking. These are the personal details, these are the preferences, and many others. So likewise, I may group it. I'll teach you how to do this. Again, don't forget to save your work, right, when you are doing the work. You can use the shortcut key Control S. Where do we have save but no. Okay, right. You better use Control S, right, while you're doing it. Otherwise, if there's a power cut, we don't know what will happen, right? Your whole work will be lost. Right, now I'm going to group them somewhere like this. You can see that now. This topic, leave it. So these details from here to there, I may consider them as personal details. Is it correct? It is asking the personal data, your profile picture, then your name, home address, the city, and here onwards, grade 5 scholarship. They are school studies, school data. So I'm going to create them. So to create the groups, what we do is we are just adding. I'll reduce the size of this box. Right. First of all, to create groups, you are going to select the fields to be grouped. So these fields should be in one group. I'm selecting them. When you're going to select it, don't start the selection from this. Don't start clicking from the fields. Just start clicking from the canvas, right? This white space. Otherwise, you can't select. Right. This area I want to put into one group. Select it. Then we go to insert. Select it. We go to insert. From there, we'll go to group. These selected areas are put into a group. Then we can put a name for the group. I can say personal details of a student. Right. Then we can have a field name. They may be. And we can set a background color for that one. A certain background color to make it quite highlighted. I'll just use this color. Then say OK. Now the selected area will be put into a single group. Also, I want to have these details into another group. I'll just leave this separately. These are the school data. So I'll just put them into another group here. Select them. Insert group. What do I mean? Name. School details. Right. And then I'll set a color. Something like this. Okay. And say OK. Now they are quite highlighted. Makes this grade 5 scholarship. Right. Now it will be nice looking. It's easy for the people to understand. If you want, you can still put this into another group as well. It's one thing, but you can put them into separate group. So then now I have created my form completely. So then your job is to complete a form like this. So then you have to practice this. You have to work out on this. How to do this? I'll send you a worksheet as well. How to do these works. That means some questions for you to practice. And even the exam, you need to prepare a form like this. Not only that, you have to enter data to the form as I am instructing. Then all have to be saved and showed me as the final work. And remember, when you are saving your work, choose the correct position, correct location to save it. Right. If I'm going back to the presentation now, so this is how we create a grid. So then grids are added through the field definition dialog box. Create several variables under the heading. That means it is allowing you to create many more data under the existing. So then this is how you create it. You can remember that. We can set the column. We can define columns like this. And each column can be set with the correct data type as well. Then how to create groups. So place the variables close to one another. Move the variables closer. And select them. Then insert group. Give a certain name for the group. Very simple. In this way you can group them. Right. Then how do you insert data into the form? Right. We'll do that as well. Whenever you are going to insert data, now I have created my form called under project school. This is my project school. Then student is the form. I'll save this, Control S. Then I can close this work. Okay, so I can just close this. Done. And then I'm going back to my Epi Info product. Epi Info main product, this one. Even you can just we can close everything here. Yes, I'm closing everything now. Then it's clear for you, right? Now I'm going back to Epi Info to enter data into the form I have created. Then that is selecting enter data. Okay. Then I have to open the form in order to enter data. Open form, then browse it to the place where you have saved your work. So then it's somewhere here, school project, this one. So you should know where you saved it. You open it and say okay. Now they say that the data table properties, yes, this is a table. It will be loaded. Right, this is a form. Now it's very simple. I have not inserted data yet. This is a blank table. And if you focus my cursor mouse, this is the place where the records are displayed. It says that to navigate through, to go through records, these buttons can be used. Here it says that 0 records, record count. No records are there. Right. So then if I am to insert a record, we go to new record. Right. Now I can type the data here, name with initials. I can say that A, B, Gamage. Home address, we'll say that 105 B, comma, Main Street, Candy. Hari. Telephone number, I can insert the telephone number like note 77 then 2525 2525. Fine. It's a male. Date of birth. Now you are entering. Now we'll try that. 2022 date. What is it saying? Invalid date. Please enter date between this. Can you remember that? When you create this date field, we said that to be entered in between 2003 1st of 1st 2017 December 31st. So you are allowed to enter data in between that only. Right. So then you have to go for a certain old date, say that 15 somewhere, June 9. Select your city. From the combo box, I may select the city Candy. That's about the personal details. Then you can upload a picture if you wish. Since we have added the picture box, select it. Then a certain picture of yours. I don't have pictures. I may have pictures, should not shown to you. Where can I have it? Pictures. No pictures. Where can I have it? Still no. I will add this, right? Ah, lucky. I'm lucky. Oh, so this will add this picture, right? Okay. Now it's there. I insert that picture. That's also added. Then school details. That they are my first details, and there are school details. Did you pass scholarship? No. Then select your hobbies: singing, playing. Comments about the students. So then I can say that I like to go to school and to do all my studies at my best. So likewise you can have details written there. Number of subjects followed by I may say 2 subjects. Then enter the subject details you do. The range is going to be given as 3 to 5, and I'll make it as 3, right? Okay. So the first subject I may do maths. Okay. Periods, we'll say that we have 5 periods. Teacher, Malani, practicals, maths no ne. Then the other one, science, I think I can't enter science. The number of characters is 5, yes, only 5 maximum. Periods, we'll say that 7 periods. We can have Mala, practicals, yes, and another one English. There are 6 subjects, and okay, so practicals, no, right? I just fill my grid corresponding to the subjects I do. Okay, now after typing those data to make them added to the database, make them added to the project, I have to click on this save button on the top title bar, top main menu. Here, why still I don't have records? I just type them only, I didn't enter them. To enter them, I have to click on save, then it will be added. Now one record is there. You are clear, right? So I just put that data saved into the computer, saved into the Epi Info project. If I want to add another record, I may insert another record, click on new record, name with initials, then say that JK Hera. Then home address, we'll say that 785, Cross Street, Colombo. Okay. Telephone number, we'll put this like note 72 6565 something. Gender is going to be female. Date of birth, still we have to add a date under that earlier range. We'll say something like this. Selective city should be Colombo. Okay. Then did you pass the scholarship? Yes. Dancing and playing. Comments. My anything, right? Best friend. My best friends are from the school. And then many more things. Number of subjects you do, still we have to say 3. Then you may type the. I don't type it since not compulsory. No matter. Then I can save this. Then I have the second record as well. I'll add another record as well. Okay. Then say that UT Jagat. Home address 678 first lane goal. Hurry. Telephone number note 718999. Right. There's going to be male. Date of birth has to be somewhere like this. City should be golden. Hurry. Grade 5 scholarship, yes. Dancing only. Then some comments. Subjects you follow, will say 5 subjects. And I'm going to save this. So then there are 3 records. If I want to navigate through the previous records that I have entered already, I have entered 2 records. To go to the previous records, I may click on previous. Then it may take me to the previous record. The previous one here. Right. So then in that order, you can even you can update them. Now the second record, I couldn't upload an image. Click here, I may upload another image. And I have to save it. I don't forget to save it, otherwise it won't get saved. You can do a change, but save it. Then the first record has this. Second record has this. Even the third record, still I can update it, but I must save this. If I didn't save it, it won't get added, right? I didn't save now. From the previous one to the current one, it won't get added. It's added automatically saved, but best thing is to save it. Right. So then I think now you are okay with this. How to create the data entry form, how to enter those data into the form. So then they are the main things I expect here, not to analyze, not to create graphs in Epi Info. If you can manage this with this limited time, I think that's a success. That's the expected target in this course. Right. Now, when you are doing that, so be careful to select the fields. Now, you must select the correct fields. If it is only one selection to be done, combo boxes, many more selections, check boxes, the comment field, even the combo boxes, and you should be able to enter those data, right? Then that's the work we have to do, right? So if I'm going back to the presentation, so how to enter data into the questionnaire? Very simple, as I said earlier. This form. So then enter data program has to be inserted, has to be yes, open the enter data sub program, and then open the questionnaire. Then you may enter the data for the first record and then click on the save button, and using the new record, add the next record. Now this is the place where we have those controlling options in Epi Info, especially when you go to the enter data package, right? Even we can have the deleting records. Just to show you, no need to delete it, but just for your knowledge, suddenly say that you need to erase the first record, delete it. Then you are at this record now. Now I can go to the corresponding record, second record, third record, likewise. I'm going to the first one. I won't delete this. There under the control bar, we have this delete button. I just click on it. Then I deleted it, but still the values are appearing in a shaded color. If I go to the other record, see that second record, that is in bright color, right? But only the first record, the deleted one, goes with some shaded color. That means though it is marked as delete, it was not deleted completely. So you can undo this, means undelete. So this is for your preference. Normally after entering data, it's a huge work, right? Suddenly by mistake, if you delete it, again it takes long time to re-enter it. Then to avoid that, they have this feature added. Though you delete it, it won't permanently deleted. It won't get deleted permanently. So if you want, you can get them back. If I click on undelete, now it is resuming back. So then this is what the deletion here as well. Then I think now you are okay with the Epi Info work, how you did and how you are going to continue the works, right? So then it's not a big issue. The thing is, you have to understand how it is going to be, right? Also we have the search records as well. Under this you can search here, find. Now I entered data. If you wish, now there are only 3 records, now much more. If I want to find records, now this I can navigate through each and every record separately. But if I want to find students from Candy only, still I have this find button. Click on it. Then from the fields available, I am going for city. Then I am telling that Candy. Okay. And hit on the enter key, or else I can have the search button. Now it is searching for the records which are matching with Candy. We have only one person. If I have many more, they will display the details. So likewise, you can search for the records as well once you enter data completely into the Epi Info product. Right. Now I think you understood what we said here. So then this is a user-friendly product mentioning how we have created data entry and how we are going to create data handling in it. Right. So then that's all I want to teach you behind this. So then regarding the Epi Info package, so we did the create form, enter form, and we may not go for this analysis part since we have different knowledge levels regarding analysis part. If it is to analyze, it goes with statistical analysis, it says go regression calculation, then many more things are there. So then since we are in the introductory level, keeping that analysis part for you to do later in your future works. If I click on analysis, so here we can open your project, right? Just introduction, how to analyze them. So varieties of analysis are there. uh, the the way to do this, so I don't take that now. If you go for the analysis, you can open your project and then you can proceed with that, likewise a lot. Okay, so it doesn't matter at this moment be familiar with these two options: how to enter data, how to create forms. So then I don't want to repeat you. The things are there in the video. You can repeatedly watch the video and get the idea how you do this, right? So then right. So then normally the question will be given in this order, right? So I'll give you I'll share you a certain exercise sheet as well. So those sheets are having questions like this. Now it says the question or prompt. Now this is talking about the Epi Info now creation of now simply if I'm going back to the question here, it says create a survey referring to the table in the next page. So collect information about vehicles come to the service station. Then use the Epi Info to create the survey. So you are going to create this survey or the form and create the project with your index number. Then within the above project, create the form or view called as vehicle. So then details should be in separate groups. So then these are the details. So then question or prompt, you know about the prompt. This is the data type. This is a comment. Comment is given how to do this. So we have to have vehicle details section. We have to get the registration number. That is of text, 10 characters. Chassis number, a text data type, 20 characters. Then type of vehicle. So that should be a drop down or a legal value, a combo box. These are the values expected. Now you need to create these details as I have told. This is the way the question comes. That's what I want to show you, right? It says that you have to create a field drop down called as vehicles, and these are the values. Then year of manufacture. The year, it should be a number type. Only the year is entered like this. It's not a date then, right? Date has to be with 3 sections. This is only a number, so year of manufacture has to be a number value. Then the color of the vehicle. So that has to be written as a label. Below that, the colors are listed in checkboxes. So then user can select multiple colors of the vehicle. There can be vehicles with multiple colors. So please place these fields under the label color. Under the label, these checkboxes has to be there. How many doors are there? Then there are options: 2-door, 4-door, 6-door vehicle. Then again checkboxes are there. Again transmission, whether it's automatic or manual. Then the details of the owner. Right? So then these two details, these two sections should be available in two separate sections. So then this is what the order, this is what the way how the questions will appear. Right? So then I can just give you this as another practice question for you. You can practice this sort of a question here to create in your Epi Info product. Right? So I think from the video itself you can get it how to add this. So then these are the details. The vehicle details has to be created like that. You may do this as a homework, and I'll add another worksheet. Then the owner details are like this. Then you can create them. Fine. Can I go to the full screen here? Reading mode. Right. So then that's more than enough, right? So then these are the details to be added. You may create it. Right. I think now we are fine. Right. So then you know the way the question comes. You know the way the question describes, and you know how to add these, how to create these into your Epi Info work. Right. And after that, I'll ask you to enter some data as well. So that's also another part you have to perform in your final exam. Right. Then hope that my descriptions are clear. You understood it. Then you can refer to the video again and again and clear your doubts. If you have think that at this critical moment we'll manage our courses in this way. So then with your support and with the support of the technology, we'll do this and complete our section in this way. Right. So I'll wind up my work from here, thinking that the works we did are fine and you can handle the questions finally in the best way to score full marks. Okay. So I'll stop here. Thank you all. See you in the final exam with you all.